So I'm gonna make this real snappy. I done got pissed off. Now, I had stopped going I had shut down my Facebook page for a little while. And the reason why I shut down my Facebook page is because I be sick of seeing certain things. I'm sick of seeing this old time. Oh, I want to thank Father God, King Jesus, for waking me up this morning. And if I wouldn't have made it, if it wouldn't, I get sick of seeing that. But another thing I get sick of seeing black people, Uncle Tom and stepping in and fetching it for the patriarch and for the brotherhood and for Christianity and all of that type of stuff. But then another thing I get fed up with is this clout chasing LGBT community. Clout chasing LGBT community. And that exists so much in people who make space for the ballroom and talk about the ballroom. I don't get on live and talk about ballroom. I don't go on my timeline and always be commenting on the ballroom because the ballroom is not my lane. So today, when I went on a break the last time, it's this girl named Niambi. And so Niambi Stanley or something like that. So like she's always making posts to get people, get people to interact. She's always making posts to get people, she just always posting controversial stuff. And at first it didn't bother me. At first I was like, okay, people do what they do, work your angles. But today it was the last straw. She shared a picture of the ghetto twins with Juvenile. Now, mind you, this not even her post. Like you come off as a journalist person, like a person who does journalism, and you want people to have so much integrity and so much respect for what you're saying. You want people to respect transness. You want people to respect people living with HIV. But how can you sow a bunch of malice and you always coming for people on your posts and always reading people? Like, you sow the very chaos that you want people to respect you, but you steady sowing chaos. You steady dividing people. This is why I couldn't get behind that black trans murder blackout, because this just seemed like you working an angle to put money in your pockets. It don't seem like you really invested in bringing people together. It don't. Like then she had this post, like she just be triggering me. Like she had this post with this white woman with a chain around her neck, and she said that blackness is caricature. Since when it's not? Since when is blackness not a caricature? All you girls around here tap dancing with the same lace front on, got the same body, all y'all look alike, doing the same tricks, nothing different. All y'all shallow, materialistic, most of y'all. Most of Ballroom is that. And that's why y'all get so much dominion in this reality, because it's an illusion. And if it's one thing Ballroom is good at, it's creating an illusion. If it's one thing Ballroom is good at, it's selling you a dream. It's posing, pretending. Clout chasing. And the good attributes about Ballroom, it's hard to see. It's hard to, like we try to get into the idea that this was family. This was a safe place for queer people. Like we want to remember that. We want to remember that Ballroom created a safe place for queer children who didn't have anywhere to go, who were rejected by their families. But now what it's starting to look like it was a sorority, or it was a club in which your family hazed you. You went through Haze Week with your family, then you got accepted by this club and this group, and then when you get up in there, they doing the same toxic stuff that was done to you by your biological family back home. It's no different. Pose Pose created this reality, but we know Pose didn't tell the whole story. We know Pose glamorized it a little bit. We know it was a lot uglier. We know it was mamas that was pimping their children. We know it was mamas that was saying, get out there on that corner and make my coins. We know that was happening. Mamas and daddies who were sleeping with their children. We know that was happening. But Pose didn't get into that. In all three of the seasons, it didn't get into that. Didn't tap on that. I'm so sick of seeing this trans community out here clout chasing. It get on my, like, I was having such a beautiful day. I'm having a beautiful day. I got some great news. That's why I just jumped on here and I said I'm gonna vent right fast. I'm gonna let it out. No, this don't go for all the ballroom, but this go for most of y'all. Y'all love to point out what's wrong with other people, but you know when you point a finger, you see how many fingers is pointing back at yourself? When you try to point a finger at somebody else, look how many fingers pointing back at you. Take a look at yourself in the mirror. Before you come for somebody else, before you talk about somebody else, look in the mirror. You ain't got no room to talk about nobody. If it wasn't for plastic surgeries and doctors and seal workers, half of y'all would look like trolls under the bridge. If it wasn't for all the surgeons on the East and West Coast, where would you girls be? Where would you girls be? Thank goodness you could buy it. Thank goodness you could pay for it. Otherwise, where would you girls be? Then because you ain't got nothing going on but a look, you ain't got nothing going on but aesthetic. Your aesthetic got you through the door so you could tap dance your way up the patriarchal ladder with the brotherhood. Your aesthetic got you in, but girl, you ain't right within. You not right within. How you gonna win when you ain't right within? Lauryn Hill told you that. How you gonna win when you ain't right within? Ugh. Ugh. Oh, I'm just so sick of the shallowness. Oh, that's why I could not be a part of that. I just can't. Like I like to be cute. I like to dress up. I like to take a cute picture. But I can take an ugly picture and still be confident because I know that I'm more than a look. My whole being and my whole existence is not a look. I'm more than surface. I'm soul. And New Yorkers, like y'all swear to God, people on the East Coast, y'all supposed to be so much more advanced than people than people in Louisiana, than people in the South. Y'all supposed to be so much more advanced, but it does not show. I can't tell. To me, it just looked like y'all have more worker bees. And that's why y'all able to prosper. It's more people who live up here, more slaves. More people to work the fields. More people to tap dance. Build up industry. But a lot of y'all is dumb as a box of rocks. A lot of y'all ain't got the sense God gave a tomato. But you cute though. But she cute though. And girl, your cute ain't even your own cute, girl. You paid for that cute. You bought that cute. So, girl, what did you ever really have to begin with? Girl, you paid for that. So, girl, what did you ever really have to begin with? Girl, who are you without all of that? Ugh. Then the girls have the audacity to try to act funny with me, to try to treat me like the black sheep. I look at you the same way. The same way you don't want to be caught dead with me, I don't want to be caught dead with you. Because I'm not just worried about this right here, this now, honey. I'm worried about where I want to sit in eternity. I'm worried about how I want to be reincarnated, what I want to come back, what I want to be born back into. What type of reality I want to come back into. See, that's what's wrong with y'all. A lot of y'all just focused on now. Y'all just focused on now. You ain't thought about tomorrow and you ain't thought about yesterday. You just focused on right now. But the same way you girls don't want to sit with me, I don't want to sit with you. Care what type of labels you got, what type of car you pushing, how your work look, how your teeth look, how your hair look. I don't care. That's all fake, phony, and fleeting. It's not eternal. It's just external. It will not last. And when you get ready to go on to the next part of the journey, honey, you're not going to elevate, girl. When it's time for your soul to leave your body, you will answer for all of this shallow shit that you manifested in this reality. Lowering people's vibrations and their brain cells simultaneously. All for a look. And the look is not even authentic. Half of y'all ain't doing nothing but copying the oppressor. Ballroom was built upon. How well can you channel whiteness? How well can you channel European culture? How well can you channel westernized civilization? Ballroom itself has been a barrier to us really realizing who we are as deeply melanated aboriginous beings. I said aboriginal. A lot of y'all don't know who you are beyond slavery. And Ballroom has been an architect in that truth. Ballroom has been an architect in that. A lot of y'all don't know your indigenous roots. You don't know how you're connected to the people who didn't come over here on a slave ship. So all you know is working and posing. Work and pose and pose and work. Work and pretend and work. Work. Pose. Fuck. I had to say that. I had to let it be said, honey. I had to say that. I'm okay now. Kevin, I'm okay now. I had to go ahead and do it like I did it because I'm just, the community have the audacity to act like they're ashamed of me. I'm ashamed of y'all. What magical unicorns and mermaids. We identify trans and queer people identify with magical and mystical beings. What's magical and mystical about an illusion, boo? Girl, yes, ma'am, girl. Girl, the only reason why the machine is using y'all right now is because all of y'all so materialistic. Y'all continue to make the oppressor wealthy. That's the only reason why y'all featured. Because y'all are consumers. You spin to build up Master's kingdom. But let me tell you one thing that I've learned about myself. When I was born into this reality, I was born XY. And when I could not live up to the standards of that construct, I had to die to the man community, to the community. I never got a chance to be that. I've always been different. So I had to die to that community. Like in a video game, I had to die to that community. Then when I got a little bit older and I was in the queer community and I tested positive for the nothingness, then the community, you're on the back burner now. Something wrong with your blood. You ain't right. So I had to die to that community. I was no longer valuable to them because I had to die to that community. Then it happened again. I wasn't black enough because I'm queer. Queer makes me less black. So I had to die to the black community. I had to die to them. Then the trans movement came up, and the trans community wanted to do their own thing. And so then I wasn't trans enough because sometimes I like to, let myself look masculine. I don't always try to fit into the box or the idea of what it means to look like a woman. I don't change my voice. I don't do all of this stuff to fit into that box. So I had to die to the trans community. But in all of those deaths, I was like a phoenix, and I rose from the ashes to find the people that I could live for and the people that will live for me. So sometimes you have to die to the bullshit. Sometimes you have to be dead to the bullshit. You have to be dead to communities that refuse to let you grow, that try to hold you hostage, that try to keep you in quicksand. You have to die to them. You have to perish to them or perish with them. Either you can perish to them or perish with them. But either way it go, something has to change. I'm going to leave you with that. I'm done with my rant because I'm not going to be on here giving all this life. I'm still having a beautiful, 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 glorious day. Honey, the sun is getting ready to go down, but I'm still having a beautiful, glorious day, honey. Beautiful day. Nothing is going to snatch my joy. Nothing's going to snatch my sunshine, but I'm always going to speak the truth. How I see it. A man, a woman, LelimLelur. And girl, Niambi said, oh, y'all mad at me because I ain't make the post he did. And I said, you right. But I don't follow him. I follow you. And now I don't follow you anymore. You've been blocked. Black that out. Down but now the Rase Kua keeps spinning and turning Ian Gani Iyanko Kalukalo, which means I am a child of God goddess. And if I am, you know you are. This candle acknowledges past, present, and future. We are all of them and none of them at the same damn time. Period.